Okay, here I am. Ain't that awesome? Uh, probably, I don't know. I probably need to maybe have a backdrop and, green screen at least or something. Something behind me instead of my bedroom. And I should probably, have my hair combed and I should be on my best behavior. I should be cleaned up and stuff, whatever. But that's probably never going to happen, so don't think about it. Okay, so today, welcome to the stream on Wednesday, April the 23rd, 2025. April, May, June, July, August. Exactly 5 months, I'll be the big 5-0. Regardless of what I look like, I am almost 5-0. 5-0. Uh, officially over the hill, I guess, or was over the hill 40 at 40. I don't, I don't remember. I think over the hill used to be at 40. Anyways, that doesn't really matter. I need to stop. Yeah, I need to be very neat and proper when I'm streaming. Okay, so today, today I was kind of a little unsure what I wanted to do today. I'm gonna pull up, even though you can't see it just yet. Uh, I'm going to pull up Redot while I have you glued to your screens with my beautiful face. And I'm going to start up Redot. And I kind of know what I want to do. And at the same time, I kind of don't have. I don't know. You get to that point, you're working at something that's so hard that then you finally get over it. And then you kind of like, you're in your mind, you're kind of like done. I mean, I'm clearly not done with my game, but I'm right now kind of done in my mind because I had finally got to that. Um, I finally got the. I finally got the rooms loading and saving and all that stuff. Uh, there's a little bit of cleanup, and actually, I haven't done any testing really. I mean, any major testing. So I guess I'll do a little bit of testing here, and but there's a couple of things I still want to do. One is it's too easy. It'll be too easy to remove a node, well, or I should say room, because the uh, the door removal doesn't it doesn't allow you, the minus doesn't allow you to remove a door. You have to remove the whole room, but you can remove a door by going into the spec string. Go in here. If I cleared this out, it would delete the um, the room. Okay, and I made it to where it's you don't it's not super easy to delete. I mean, it's really super easy actually, but you're not going to do any really simple accidental deletes because instead of relying on the semicolon, which is what I was relying on before, in fact, I'm still leaving that in there, although I don't strictly need it now because it doesn't really use it. It just strips it. Uh, but it does use it as a kind of an end of line marker because I'm going character by character. But anyways, so in order to delete, you have to delete all of this. So if you still have like at least one letter or number or something in there, it will attempt to make a room with like default values. But it does place a new room on the veil, and I can by adding plus, and I can hit minus, and that works. And so the one thing that I want to do is I want to see if there's a way of getting the Redot editor to pop up a. Honestly, I should be going to the desktop because you're not really seeing what I'm saying, anyways. Okay, so this is like the whole setup, right? So plus minus, you can add a room, you can delete a room. as long as the room is selected, and it doesn't have to. A door won't get deleted. Doors are deleted, like I said, through this. So if you completely delete this line and then save it, it will delete the door. And if you have at least one character in there, it'll attempt to remake the door. But if you change it at all, it's going to change when you save it. It's going to be changed permanent. So, but it makes it so you can't accidentally delete a door. And so that's what I need to do here. I need to make sure you can't accidentally delete a room. So I'm going to have to see if there's a way I can do a pop-up on here. And, well, since editor has a lot of features that I can put it into the plugin, this shouldn't be a problem either. Probably what I can do is, and make sure it would only be in the editor map, and it would be I create a label. Since the rooms is under editor map now, I can actually make the pop up. Now they might have a method. See, my nose is itching because I'm talking and because I'm on camera. Sorry about that. So anyways, since rooms is under a separate node 2D, that you know what? I wonder if I could change this to something that doesn't have a positional and still have it work. Because rooms is just a node, and I don't even use it. So if I could do it in such a way where I don't have a thing to where I move any of these around, right to node 2D. If I change type, position, rotation, scale, and z index, node, base class for all node, cancel. I might be able to change that to a node as well. Just a straight up node. What's this? This is also a node because it doesn't have a position or anything. So I wonder. Let me do something. Editor map. Let's do a copy, and I just want to do this for testing purposes. I don't need to use the uh, editor map. Copy. And the only reason I want to do this is, let's open that in a new tab. Let's go to odds and ends. And let's just go ahead and paste this editor map. So just so I can save it. Hello, Florin. Welcome to the stream today. There we go. How are you doing? There, maybe I should do it in the screen. How are you doing, Florin? Anyways, so I'm going to make a change. I'm going to try to change the node type here on the rooms. Just because if I do this, I can move this around, and Control Z, and I don't want the ability to move that around. Just moving the rooms around is fine. I don't need to move the that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to, and it's going to be the same name, but I'm just going to attempt to change the type to node. And see if it screws up on me. If it screws up on me, I'll just copy the other one back onto it, and no problem. Change. Now I guess I have to save it. And it's good. So now I'm not, I'm moving this, but I'm not moving the rest of it. Right? Save room data. And, okay. Scene, reload, save scene. Reload save scene. Okay, that's cool. That is cool. Now the one thing is that the view isn't saving though. Well, I wonder if I hit save and I hit scene, reload save scene. Okay. I see, because I didn't actually save the scene, that's why. Good, good. I'm doing good too. I'm doing great right today. I did start a little bit late, just mainly because we ate late and whatever. Sometimes that happens, but that's kind of okay. Um, so technically, I started at 12 today, which means instead of 3.5 hours, I get 3 hours today. Not a big deal. And I don't know if you uh, had watched any of the previous streams lately, but uh, you can add a room. So if I add, see, new location, nothing here yet. I can edit it, right? And then I can also delete it. Oh, yeah. Okay, weird. It's supposed to have selected it, but I guess it didn't. Well, that's kind of weird. I mean, I can do this. Uh-oh. Why is that not working? Okay. Reload save scene. Okay, that's fine that it's gone. Is it gone? Is it actually gone in here, though? That's the question. Here. No, here. Okay. Right, because I didn't save it, right? Uh, so I guess I have to figure out why this was doing like it wasn't supposed to. If I add, can I delete it? Okay, so then the question becomes, if instead, let's save scene. Okay. If okay, so if I go and I replace the this copy and replace it, because all I did was I just changed the node type. So if I here, let's just open another deal here, and let's go into Redot and projects. Let's see here. What was I? Oh, scenes. That's right, scenes. Paste. Replace. Reload save scene. Okay, now it's node 2D again. Now, or that's not what I want to do. I want to add a new dealie. I want to select it. I want to subtract it. I don't know why it's not working now. It was working yesterday. Let's reload the dang thing here. Yeah, let's do that. What's the problem? What's the problem? Okay, let's open this new tab. And let's go into Redot and let's rerun it. Reopen it. The removal worked yesterday. It's not working today for some reason. Plus. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. Reload save scene. Since I still have it copied, I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. I realize what's went on here. Let's change the node type again. We'll change it to node again. Change. Okay, and then we'll save it. Then what I need to do is I need to go into the plugins and I need to disable and re-enable it so it reinitializes. Okay, let's go ahead and okay. So now let's go ahead and add a room. Invalid owner must be an ancestor in the tree. What's going on? Uh, scene. Reload save scene. Let's close this. This project settings again. Previously freed instance. That's okay. Turn back on again. It's only that one selection change signal connected editor map. Okay. Close. Add a room. Okay. Now let's see if I can delete it now. And I can delete it now. It had something to do with me changing when I changed the node type. It kind of invalidated everything else, so I needed to basically remove it and redo everything. So, okay, uh, we'll do this. Sorry if it's a dumb question, but why do you make an editor on top of Redot and don't directly create the scenes using the editor directly? Not sure if the question is. Yeah, you're right. Here, I'll show you here in just a sec. Um, let's now this is the old error. Okay, so that's fine. Uh, let's just clear that. Let me show you. It should be pretty obvious here. I have 93 different quote unquote scenes or rooms. Technically, they're rooms. So for all intents and purposes, here they're rooms, and I had 93 of them. So let me show you what I started with. Let's go to the design documents, and we'll go. Let's see how old these are. Intro new room list was from April 11th. Tuesday, March 11th. That's the intro notes. Okay, let's go by created time. Um, which is this is the newest. Let's go by the oldest, and that ways. This was the latest. Rooms list, rooms redux, rooms list redux, new room list. Okay, so we'll go back to the room text. I think this is the one. Well, this is actually what. Okay, so if you notice here, I have all of these in a single file. These are actual individual JSON objects, and then up here was like it was the room number, and then it was a name, and then it was the I had actually had ChatGPT or Grok, one of the two, actually go over these and rename these to the file names, so that when I split them out it would use that as the file name to save it, and it would save these. So these are all individual JSON objects to be made into those JSON files in the beginning. So if we go to new room list, okay, if you notice here, it's still kind of the same thing, and these are just very basic variations of um, my rooms list. And then I got it down to numbers, and then I got it down to this thing about locales here, and then they're renumbered, and it's got a lot more things in. And so basically, I started out with, in fact, let's go back to the original thing here. Let's go back, let's go to the browser here. Actually, let's pull that out because I want Restream to kind of stay semi linked up here. And let me pull up the other window. Okay, so let's go to, I guess we'll go to the gists. I should have the rooms listed somewhere else, but when I started, I'd started with, where's it at? This one. Okay. So originally, this was the original Enchanted Lands rooms here. And actually, that's the newer one, isn't it? That's the newer one. This is the older one. This is the even older one. Okay. So let's see if I can click on that. So basically, okay. So this is the story. So these are all the story beats basically. So you know, after asking, he learns the princess is going to speak at Princess Prep and never made it. Someone tells John the Knights are using, and these are just kind of like statements about things that happen in the game, or in the story, however you want to say it, because at this point it's not actually a game yet. And then I grouped them into rooms, so that these are actual numbered rooms here, right? 92 of them. And then finally I settled on this, and I had the this one was actually made by Grok, but I had it go and rename them to RM001 underscore because that was going to be part of the naming scheme of the files. So basically, I have all of these statements that are going to be turned into individual pages, and I needed a way to do it en masse, and so I usually have the AI go in and group things for me. I think I did most of the actual grouping myself, but actually having it name them and split them up into files. It wrote me a Python script to split that one long list into the different JSON files. So what it'd be is it would be a kind of a slow process here. Let me show you what it would be. Let's just create a new scene here real quick, and let's we're gonna do a node type, and I'm gonna say room that because I already created the script. Okay, so this is the room, the ID, origin, label, all that stuff. So I would have to go through each and every one of the rooms that I had in the text file, and I would have to manually enter these in. I'd have to manually save them, and then I could load them. And I wanted to do it all at once, basically, because I had all the stuff written down, all the actual things that'll go on the pages. So I had the AI just start writing out the things for me that I needed, including the JSON that eventually resulted in the individual rooms. So it would just take me forever just to convert that to here manually for all 93, you know, and I still have tons of work to do. So it's just saving me some time doing it this way. Don't save. Okay. And okay, that's the main menu. That's an actual scene itself. The main menu here. And that's weird. It doesn't have any settings. It does have the name, but it doesn't have an ID or an origin or nothing, which is kind of interesting. I could set this to 000 main menu, and the origin would be, you know, no parent, and the label, of course, is main menu. And this shouldn't change anything. I don't hope. At least I hope not. Anyways, so now select it and subtract it. And that's another thing I think I might need to do. I need to see if I can get it to select the I need to get it to select the last room when I add a new room. Okay, let's go to the script. And this is actually the save. It's the custom save plugin. What? I've had to do that before, and I don't know why. There's something in there that I don't know if it's actually Redot or if it's actually my game. My game might just do that, and it does it at weird times that I can't tell. I don't know. Maybe they have a logging feature in here that I'd have to check out. Sometimes it just gets up and quits. Uh, so hopefully that answers your question. I know I'm not very clear sometimes, but so basically, I had all this text about what happens in the story that I needed to divide up into rooms, and just having it do. And they don't really recommend you uh, create scene files programmatically because I guess it's only partially human readable or something. There's something weird about it's got some like mixed data in it, so like you can still read it with text, but they don't recommend you actually edit a scene file with text, even though it's even a tscene file. And so I figured, well, why not I just load them in with JSON objects, and that's what I did. So hopefully that answers your question. Um, anyways, and I still don't know why. Do we have a some sort of logging thing? Um, maybe you could ask in the Discord. Uh, does anyone know? There's a error log for crashes. Occasionally, Redot will crash, and I can't tell if it's my game or if it's Redot. There we go. Yeah. So it's just kind of a matter of convenience, and it's like I said, they don't recommend you manually editing tscene files, even though the tscene there's some text in it. But I guess it's got some extra data in them or something. I don't see how you could load up a file like a text file, but then have it um, here. Let me check something here. Let's go. We're in scenes over here. Okay, so the editor map is pretty big. Room viewer base scene. Uh, let's go to. Wait, do I have rooms open? Rooms. Yes. No. That's rooms original. That's not what I'm looking for. Uh, yeah, let's open that in a new tab. Might as well have a billion tabs open, right? You could maybe generate a scene tree from your text files without generating tscene files. Well, essentially that's what I'm doing. That's what the JSON objects are. They're essentially text files. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Give me a quick. Well, I'm going into rooms anyways. Okay, menu is only 546 bytes, and so if I open it with the text editor, it just looks like text. So maybe it is just pure text. They still don't recommend that you edit tscene files though. Although there's a packscene format. In other words, it's a plain SCN, which is like a binary format. So tscene is supposed to be made to look like, I don't know. Maybe it does something like this ID number thing here and the resource type and all that. But okay, so this is what the room file looks like. So it's essentially what it is. It's just a text file, right? The door is an array here. Although I would have preferred the this to down on the next line. That's kind of okay though. I don't really need to mess with that. That'll work. But you can see here, got ID, parent, label, which is basically your display name, essentially, description. Now, in my system here, you have to make sure that the text has the what keys or what choices you need to hit. You know, hit 1 if you wish to go to Cerulean, right? Hit 0 to quit. That's got to be in the description. Otherwise, nobody can tell if there's a door there or not. You know, unless they actually somehow looked at the file. Right now, you can pretty easily look at the files, but I'll figure out something later on whether to do it in such a way that that you can't see the individual scene files. Okay, yeah. Let me also show you how the game actually works too. If you haven't, I don't know if you've seen that or not, but okay. So this is an example room right here, and then of course these are the doors. That's a separate object. It's an array of door objects. Okay, so let's go into the game. Okay, so this is the editor map. This is the scene tree, and it's gonna have all 93 in there. I have only allowed it to load up the first 6 rooms right there for testing purposes. In fact, this one isn't like this one's door to random villages, and this is door to Caves of Dragon map, which is this one. But this one doesn't link to anything because it doesn't load up. It doesn't load up that room right here. That's just like I said for testing purposes. Okay, so the way the game actually works is this. This is just your game here, right? And this is in the description text. Hit 1 to start, hit 0 to exit. These are not instructions. They're not a separate box. Although I could probably figure out a way to make them separate boxes, and maybe I should have, so that you don't actually have to put that in the room description. In fact, it might not be in future room descriptions, especially when I modify everything. So you hit a button, right? It goes to the next one. You hit a button, goes to the next one. And these are just all ones because right now there's no actual game to it. In fact, technically all of these are story beats. So I don't know if I'm going to actually split any of these up per se, or instead add things that you can do to actually go to the next thing. So this might be a thing here. Here, Chester picks up a few shiny objects from his cave. Anyways, I don't know if I'm going to actually split up these pages or if I'm just going to add on to them because they're technically they're story beats. They're not the choices that you make. I might just make the choices on the bottom. Anyways, I'll figure it out. Okay, so and then really all that's going on here is in the room manager script, and so it just loads them one at a time. Change room actually literally loads the room up. So new room equals load room, right? And then if new room, if current room is not equal to null, then you're gonna remove it. You're gonna free it, and then you're going to add. Let's see. Let me see here. New room. Current room equals new room. Okay, there we go. Current room equals new room, and then it adds. So it loads up. It loads up the new file, and then it adds it to the Well, actually, let me go to the correct scene here. Let's see if we've got the scene. That's the main menu. That's actually a room. Let's go to the scene files. Let's go to, I guess it's the base scene. Base scene? Yeah. Okay, so this is the base scene. We got this 3D stuff in here in the background. This is for later. This is not important. I could remove that and it wouldn't be a big deal. So the room manager is its own scene, right? So room manager here. And and then we have the room. Now, if you go to 2D, if you notice here, the room viewer is just simply this text. So this is the actual text here, is this room viewer node. And so room manager, right? And then the room viewer is its own scene, and that's description and the actual label. This is the actual text here. So what happens is when you change a room, let's go back to the script. Okay, so when you change the room, it loads it. Okay, after it loads it, then it makes sure that the current room is not null and that the viewer text is there. Then it changes the viewer text to the current room's description, and that's what you get displayed here. So you're actually looking at the viewer. So this is the text from the room into the viewer. And then let's go to the load room function. Okay, so it'll load tscene or it'll load the JSON. Now, the tscene file is a Redot scene file, right? The only one that we have in here today is the main menu. I decided to leave it like that kind of on purpose. I was thinking in the future maybe you could have a mix of actual scene files and the JSON room files. But I decided to kind of I leave the functionality in there so it'll still load it, but it's kind of less prominent. So the only thing that right there is the main menu right now that loads as a tscene file. So that it loads it with the Redot's load command. Uses the resource loader, loads it, instantiates it, then it adds rooms to the essentially to the scene tree, and then it does the thing with the name and it creates it, and that's fine. And then we go to the create room from JSON, which is actually in the room script. So the room script now has a thing called, let me get to it, load data from JSON. And this is what does the actual loading, right? Because Redot can serialize or deserialize or forget what it is, can basically load it in. So you open the file, then you get the string into the JSON data, and then you basically extract out the data from there, and then it'll create the room. Let's see something here. Did I already create the room up the top here? I can't remember now, because I have to reread it. Creating from JSON data. Okay, so yeah. So this is function just loads all this data into itself, right? And then it does the doors. If there's doors in JSON in the JSON data, then add the doors basically. And that's basically how it works. I know it's I'm pretty bad at explaining, so I kind of go this long way around to do it. So the actual game itself only loads one room at a time, and then the editor map I create a plugin, of course, so that I can add rooms and remove rooms right from here. And it's kind of the same thing, I guess, as using a scene file, if you want to say that, I guess. But this kind of groups them, and it's kind of uniform the way it works, I guess. So I don't know. I just know that I needed these in JSON files. I needed these in a text file that I could load in, and so I did that. And you can link other rooms to, as long as you have the file name, you can leak a T scene room. So I could create a bunch of T scene rooms, a bunch of scene files now, and then um, I could save them and all that. But this kind of does it all at once. Uh, so I can create like a billion rooms here, like that, and then and if I hit save, let's save room data. If you go into here, new location 1, new location 2, new location 3, and even their meta files. And the meta files basically just describe where in the editor it is. So these are just positional informations here. Back here, I can open one of these. See, it's just X and Y, and this is also a JSON object, but it's a separate deal, so that I can have extra data that only applies to the editor. So yeah, so that's what we're doing here, and then all I have to do here is remove that. Uh-oh, it's doing that again. Well, how weird. No room selected to remove. That's because somehow the plugin isn't working again, and I don't get that. Um, I think I have to reconnect the stupid events or something. I had to do that before. I'm not sure. Scene, reload, save scene, reload. And of course they're still there. Of course they're above here because it's how they're arranged. But moving child from scene tree. It's not removing nothing. I can still add deals. Reload, save scene. Huh. Yeah, there's some weird goings on here. I forget what it was causing it. If I do this and I do that, then I can actually go ahead and see it's selected now. See, and I can delete them. And their files are gone when you do that. But I still have this kind of weird problem. Let's go back to script. Let's go back to custom save. Oh, it's going to do it again. So it does have something to do with my plugin and stuff. I'm not sure specifically what it is, but it does. Let's see if anybody... They aren't usually very useful as legacy decision from Godot. The useful logs aren't enabled by default, something I brought up before to help make debugging easier without forcing people to compile Redot for us. I really like the idea of it being a toggle rather than a compile decision. Totally. I do know that the crashes are from my plugin, though. Let's see something here. Let's pull this. Go ahead and restart this up. And I think I'll find if I can figure out, and I'll probably have to use Grok to help me, but if I figure out what's causing the thing here, just a second. Has method. It's this thing here. This is reconnected. So I have to reconnect the add room button pressed, remove room button pressed. Here, let me go through here this again. Uh, See, it's not activated again. Script. It's not the buttons that's the deal, it's the selection stuff. I have to, let's see something here. Those are the buttons, those are fine. Selection changed. So I need an extra one of these for selection changed. Remove, if not, remove button. Okay. So I'm going to have to do a copy here of this. I'm pretty sure that this is the problem here. It needs to be reconnected each time it's disconnected. So, editor map has method on selection changed. Control C. And this one. And I'm going to just replace these. Replace this. Okay, so it's not the remove button. Let's see some here. Remove button. This is just editor selection. Editor selection. I'm gonna just do this. So, okay. Then I'm gonna say if editor selection is connected, I think I can do it like that. If not, editor selection is connected. Selection changed. See. Control-V. Selection changed. Selection changed. Then we want to copy this and Control V. Reconnected. Enter selector. I guess I'll call it that. Okay, so let me read this to myself here. If current editor map and current editor map has method on selection changed, editor interface get editor interface, editor selection is editor interface get selection. If not, editor selection is connected, selection changed, callable current editor map on selection changed. Editor selection connect, selection changed, callable current editor map on selection changed. Reconnected editor selector. So, and then I'm going to wrap this in a, this is just for me. This is not anything to do with, of course, Redot. Because like Python, it uses indentations and, okay. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and do the same thing here. This. And if engine that is editor that. And I can just do a and if current editor map. I find that Control S. Okay, let's shrink this down so I can see the chat here. I find that it's easier for me to read if it's set up more like C. Like I put a C style comment here because this is what I would have put in a C plus C sharp program. But here I'm just doing it for visuals so that I know that func process delta and func process, right? And if engine is editor hint, so I know that directly that goes to this one, and then this I know goes to this one. And then the rest I'm not putting those in because usually it's if it's 3 or less, then it's still easy enough for me to read it. But if it's anything more than 3, then I like to add the block characters here. Like I said, this is just for me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to clear this out. We are going to go to Project, Settings. We are going to Plugins. I'm going to disable the plugin and then re-enable it. Okay, there is an error. Selection chain is already connected to given callable on that in that object. But what's the line though? Where's the line from it? Is it from the reconnection? Non-selection change method not found. Okay, let's do something again. Project, settings, disable. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and re-enable it. Well, there's not a problem now, I don't think. So if I click on this, selected node, okay. Okay, I don't want to delete that, so let's go to the 2D map and let's go ahead and add new location. Let's go to it. New location. Delete it. Okay. I was supposed to really do some testing anyway, so it's good to find out that this was being buggy. And I have a feeling it's not going to be buggy anymore. In other words, I'm not going to get crashes or anything weird now. Because basically, it was having, I think it was having a problem because it was disconnected. So if it's disconnected, that means it's not going to call the other function. So it's not going to call this selection function here if select the node if it's disconnected. And the process thing goes if it's in the editor, go ahead and process it and then check each of these to see if they're still connected. If they're not connected, reconnect them, and that's all it does. So that way you don't have any weird oddities, or whatever you want to call them. Anywho, so I think that's okay. So now I'm gonna need to actually, not this. Let's see here. I wonder how far out of sync I am here. Because at a point it'll remove this. Okay, well I'm gonna just go ahead and see. You'll actually see it here as I'm refreshing. So basically, the chat is gone. It's not gone from YouTube, obviously. It is gone from here though. But this also means that this is up to date here. So when I look at it, it's up to date. Anyways, okay, so that seems to be working, and that's all right, and I shouldn't have any problems now. So now the next thing that I want to do here is new window, and I can shrink that. Really, I just want the there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go to Grok. And then I'm going to select, that's different. What was the last? Yeah, that was last night. Technically today. Uh, okay, let's do that, I think. Quick recap. We implemented the add room, remove room button. Okay. So I'm going to assume that that's the deal, and if it screws up again or crashes again, I'll have to figure this out later. Okay. Even rook. And oh, games from scratch thing keeps popping up. The end of the game engines by programming language series with C#. That's from games from scratch. Anywho, let's go back to what I'm doing here. Okay. I've decided that I want a way to, I should say, do you know if Redot Redot 4.3 can show a pop-up dialogue warning me about deleting rooms? Or do I just add like a panel that's invisible until I hit the it removes the files, doesn't it? Oh, no, it removes the files if the files are saved. If it's not saved, it doesn't, because it doesn't add those either. It only adds on... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, wait a second. Let me see something here. I have to check something out here. I have to test. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a new room. Let's go ahead and save the room data so that the file is actually in here. New location's in here, right? Okay, good. Now, select new location. It's selected, which is good. And I hit minus. Now it deleted it. However, so I don't actually want the minus to actually delete the file, right? So I don't necessarily need a confirmation dialog. All I need is I need to remove the removal function. Well, let me see something then. Let me go into script again. I actually have to go to the editor map itself though, because that's the actual saved functionality. Nope, it's crashing on me again. Why is it crashing on me? Annoying. Okay, let's go to editor map. Hopefully everything's okay. That still works. It does work. I wonder if it's crashing with the process function. That would be the plugin process function though. But I wonder if it's just constantly like reconnecting or something. Okay, save button pressed. Um, okay, let's go to wait, let's go to the move button pressed here. Now, where do I remove the room from? Removing from scene only. And this is where these box comments come in handy. Okay, be about time for my break here in about 20 minutes approximately. Let's see if I can get some of this done a little bit. Um, this here. Okay, that's all right. We'll leave that. You do that here too. Okay, so this is the else. Oh, and else. Okay, so remove selected and all that. Let's not delete these though. Delete the JSON file. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. This is the bad part about not having block commenting. Redot needs block commenting. Probably Godot too, for that matter. The GD script needs a special block comment. Maybe a double, like a double, something like that. Uh, I don't know. That is a special deal or something. But anyways, something that you can block a whole thing here. Because the only way for me to do that is to delete or like put like the comments everywhere. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do my old-fashioned thing of where I copy the text. Let's just go ahead and copy this, copy this, copy that, copy, copy, copy. Control C, Control V, And then what we'll do here is we'll just go ahead and delete these out of here, because I think let's take the else out too. All this does is just remove everything from the tree. Not currently selected. No room selected to remove. Get the room's ID. Currently selected room. The ID. Then, okay. Go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and reload saved scene. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and go to the 2D and let's go ahead and add a room. Boom. Location. Selected. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to save room data. Okay, new location has been saved. Oh, okay. There we go. New location's in there. Okay, so we are going to remove new location. No problem. No node selected. That's okay, at least for right now. And new location's still in there, but what if I save room data? Save room data. Right? Okay, new location is still there. Okay. Huh. So save doesn't actually remove anything, it just saves stuff. Let's go to on save button press. This goes room in rooms.get children. Rooms shouldn't have the extra children. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and delete this. I'm going to try this again. Delete. Okay. Whoops. Back here. Let's go back over here. Do this. Save room data. Oh, I see. I get what's going on. Okay, so I need to somehow mark a room for deletion. So it only works on save data, and that ways, if you screw up, all you have to do is not save it. Now, of course, you have to save to make sure to stay up to date. So basically, if I do this right, okay, we want to delete. So where we're gonna have it is we're gonna have it. We're gonna have an array of. Okay, we'll do that. Because okay, so what happens is this is selected. If I hit minus, it's removed. Now it's been removed from the scene tree. It's not been deleted because, okay, because it's only saving the stuff that's there. It's not. It's not saving, or it's not removing. Now, when I load up stuff, it recreates. It recreates the things from the saved files. But saving it with nothing there doesn't mean that it's not deleting anything. So I need to make it delete stuff. I need to make the actual save function actually do the deletion as well. And even though it sounds kind of counterintuitive, save room data, basically you're saving the room data. So the room data here is all these rooms. So deleting rooms should be okay. Okay, so what I need to do here is I need an array. Deleted rooms. I wonder if I can remove it from the deal. I can save the room. Well, I don't need to save the rooms, do I? At all. I just need to save the names, essentially the file names. Okay, and of course the folder that they're in. So let's do a var um, what? See, I don't know why it keeps on crashing. It's just crashing now all the time. It has something to do with the plugin, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it could be an actual Redot or Godot problem, but I don't think that it's an actual Godot Redot problem. Not just crashing all the time. Um, I got till 1:30. Okay, 1:30 till my break. Redot projects. No, wait a second. Scenes. Okay, that's not what we want to do. What we want to do here is not scenes. What am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Okay. Go back up to the top of editor map. Var. Deleted rooms. Oh. Rooms. Equals that. And root not scene tree, boarding name, label, update. Wait. Name, label. Room not in scene tree. I wonder why she did all that weird stuff for. That's weird. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, removed rooms. So, I can actually put the else in there. Okay. All right. This assumes that the ID's there. Okay. So room ID. Okay. Okay. Removed rooms and room ID. So. All right. Okay. Now let's go to the save function. Unsave button pressed. IDs are not the same. Deleting old files. I guess down below. We'll go ahead and okay, so let's copy this code here. We don't want to copy that. And we're going to put this down here, I think. That's okay. We don't need a room ID. What we need is for we'll say room ID in removed rooms colon. I'm gonna go ahead and do and go ahead here and there's there's wait a second. Oh, I can't put that there. Okay, that's all right. We'll grab this code and delete that. Wait a second. No, that's correct. That's end function for room and rooms. Wait a second, what's going on here? Still something funky going on. Oh, that's because this is an N for it. This is what we want to delete. Wait, where's the end? Oh, there's the end of the function down there. Oh, I see. Um, let's see something. I guess I'm gonna put this at the very end, I think. That means that these should all be tabbed in. That's okay. But I'll check this out first before I do anything. This 4 should be back one indent, I think. In for room ID like that. Okay. There we go. There we go. So now we have the deletion code in here. Okay, so for room ID and reserve rooms, well, that's interesting. Let me go look my text file. Room ID. Oh. So room ID underscore. So it should act just like it acted. The room ID is gonna be saved, hopefully. And okay, so we're going to reload and we're going to see if this will do what I think it'll do. In which case we need to go into rooms and new location is there. And so what we need to do here, it's selected, that's good. That was good. We are going to go ahead and remove it. Okay. How do I add something to a stupid... Where's the add button? Add button. No, let's go into room. Where is the code to add doors here? Load data. Wait, isn't that an array? Um, there's append. Append is on an array, right? Existing label is that append. So, removed rooms. I kind of don't get... This is a class level variable, so it should be fine. So I wonder what the deal is. Oh, break time. I guess I need to break. Hey, Rook. You just caught me at my break. So I will see you in about 30 minutes, if you're still here. And where is... Okay. Break, break, on, break. Mute. Let's mute my mic. And microphone on. And where were we? Um, moving child. Okay. Let me do the thing here. Plugins. No, this works. Oh, this wouldn't work anyways, but I'll go ahead and we'll try to remove it. Invalid call, non-existent function, and base nil. Has something to do with the way I'm using arrays here. I'm using them incorrectly, I think, or something. I guess, why don't I go ahead and just put an else here? That. And then let's just go ahead and tab in. Let's save it. Let's clear this out. And let's go over here. Getting saved. And then let's just go ahead and, okay, new location. Let's go ahead and try to remove it. Base nil. I don't get, all I'm doing is adding the room ID, currently selected room. Sending to append. ID plus to what? Oh. So. Okay, let's do the same thing again. Sure, it's selected. The node. Editor map. So removed rooms equals, I don't get it. Guess I'll have to ask Grok or something. Just means that well, I'm gonna have to put this darn stupid. Okay, so let's go to Grok here. Let's see what it says. As an array at runtime results in non-existent function append. Okay. Remove rooms is null or nil when you call append. Append is a valid method for arrays, but if the variable isn't properly initialized as an array, Redot treats it as null. Likely cause why you declared var rooms at the class level, there might be an issue with how the variable is being initialized or accessed. If editor map is loaded dynamically in the editor, the class level variable might not persist correctly unless properly scoped. Another script or process might be overriding removed rooms as null. Fix this, ensure it's always initialized as an array. We can type the variable explicitly, type removed rooms array string, add a safety check before calling append, ensure removed rooms is an array, reinitializing it if necessary. Okay. Do that. Array string. Oh, stupid thing. Colon array string. Now let's just see if it does it. Yeah, but I'm gonna want to be able to access it later. Okay. Okay. So now, if I'm right here, notification's still there. Let's go back to script. Let's go on saved. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to saved. Save room data. Deleted JSON file. And meta. Awesome. Okay, so now you can't, you don't willy-nilly remove it. See, that works. That works really well now. Okay. I just had to explicitly type it, I guess. So, yeah. Um, oh, yeah. I have to, it should be cleared afterward. I don't know if I actually put the code in to clear it like it should have. Okay, so, um, see, I don't know why it's doing that. It just keeps doing that. Oops, wrong button. Why does it keep crashing on me? Yeah, boarding name label update. That's all right. Um, everything's good there. Okay, let's clear that. Let's go ahead and this is saved, right? That's saved. Okay, that's fine. Uh, on save button pressed. Do I need to clear it? Should I just straight up clear it when I'm done? Okay, removed rooms here. I think that's how that works. Or room ID, yes. All right. Huh. I didn't know. Okay, so let's see something here. Can I do curly brackets? No. I can't do curly brackets. Okay, I'm just making sure. It's interesting, but okay, whatever. Honestly, they should, since this is Redot, they should, and they probably don't want to do it. They probably just want to stick to whatever. They should allow some C style stuff. In other words, like I said, like the block comments. Now the commenting a comment. character they're using is fine. But maybe allow the end of line statements, and just so you can kind of restructure it, sort of like C, kind of. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could always, make it like C, like exactly like C or something. But really, there's a few things that I like. Um, I'd like a semicolon, or any kind of end of line character that that meant that it keeps going, uh, until it hits the end of line character. So that way you can put anything on any line, and it's not going to have a problem because it reads it until it hits the end character, and then I like code some sort of code blocking. That's why I was hoping you were able to do that with the curly brackets. Apparently not. Apparently curly brackets are useful for something, but you can't do them after an if statement. So, and I don't care what kind of character, what kind of thing that they use for their for you know for the a code block. But code block characters, end of line characters, so you can split them any way you want, and not having it rely on indentation. Um, Now I don't know how much that would make like another language, but uh, I think that would be pretty useful. Although, I could always opt for figuring out how to use this in C sharp and just do C sharp because um, um, I know about C sharp a little bit better, a little bit more. Maybe not a lot. It's been a while since I used it, but with C sharp at least I could do all the standard stuff. Slash slash for comments, slash asterisk for block comments, and that sort of thing. But you wouldn't be able to use it in the Redot editor. I don't think. I think the extra language support, like the C sharp support, I think is using an external code editor. So, okay. All right. So we're gonna save this. We're gonna reload, save scene. Okay. Let's clear that out. We are going to go ahead and go to 2D. We're going to go ahead and add. There's nothing here yet. 0 to quit. Then we're going to go ahead and save room data. That's okay. Actually, I guess it's just saying that it's already existing. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to do the thing here where we go to new location. We remove it. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and save room data. Did it delete? Yep, it deleted. No problem. And Bob's your uncle. Okay. Now, let's do one more thing here, which is when you delete something, it's fine if it's not selected, so that I can't delete a bunch of stuff. Now you can still delete rooms by hitting the minus, but if you don't save it, then the files are going to be permanently deleted, and all you have to do is the reload the scene, and they'll be back. That's why I had the array there. So okay, so what was I trying? Oh yeah, the selection thing, right? Select. Unselected change, selected nodes, get selected nodes. If not selected nodes is empty. If it's not empty, no nodes selected. Editor interface, get selection. Let's see something here. Oh, it's gonna did it again. See, I don't get it. I don't know why it's doing that. No clue. Absolutely no clue why it keeps doing that. Probably doesn't do it if I don't actually that's a kind of good test. I'd have to do some stuff in it though. In other words, I'd have to do some manual editing of something and not use those buttons at all. In fact, maybe turn off the plugin. If I turn off the plugin, maybe I'll turn off the plugin when I'm trying to visualize the doors, just so I can see if it still crashes on me. Because if it crashes, that means it's crashing because of the um, it's crashing because of the plugin. I have no clue why it does that either. Get unique room label. On selection changed. Can we set selection? No. Okay. Editor selection dot see get box signals. See what set is. Yeah, well, this is just object. That's not what I want anyways. Get selection. Editor selection instance. Add node. Edit node. I want it to set when I add a node, so let's see if Grok can tell me. Pretty boring stuff, ain't it? Here. Okay, I did say back. Okay. So get it to select my newly created node in the scene tree. Probably want to do like this whole big, huge thing of it instead of being some simple couple line deal, even if there's a line deal. Right? Did I select something? Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at Discord and got some weird window thing popped up and one new mention. Where is that one new mention? Oh, I don't care about that. Oh, announcements. Yeah. Where is... Hold on a sec. There you go. Back to this. Alright, back to that. Back. Select the newly created room node in the feature after adding an add room button. Randomly set the node. And finish get selection to clear the current selection and select the new node. Here's how. Doesn't need to clear anything. It's already cleared when I... Current selection called clear. You select any currently selected nodes. Select a new node. Use add node to select the newly created room node. Okay. We're going to do this old-fashioned way again. I'm going to go ahead and cancel new. Actually, let's not do that. Select all. Okay. Okay, let's go into Redot. Editor map. Add room button pressed. Okay. Now, that way I can go ahead and I can go to Grok here. I can copy the add room button pressed. I hit paste. It's okay. I hit Control S. Right, of course not. Let me look at my old text. All right, let's just do it differently. Let's take this. Okay, and Control V, that. Control C, and all I did here, Control V, Control S, and scene, reload, save scene. Okay, clear that out. Go to 2D, go to plus, and it's automatically selected. And that works, and thanks a lot. Okay, now this selected. Can I Ojin? No, Oijin. It's okay. Save room data. Okay. I don't need to delete anything. That's okay. Go back to rooms. Oijin. Oijin. Okay. And then let's go to back here. Let's go ahead and remove it. And it should be gone, and it's gone, and everything is good. Okay, so that's good. Of course, at some point, it's still going to go ahead and close on me. I have no clue why. But I guess I should go ahead and continue on as though everything were hunky-dory. Until it crashes out on me again. Okay, so let's go back to script. That. Okay, Control S. And that's very interesting. Close without saving, that's alright. Everything seems to work. However, I wonder if everything seems to work. Okay, now. Awesome, great to hear. I'm doing manual listen. Live stream automation will be done at another time. have many, many more phases to go before I get to the point in the phase. In fact, I have a total 17 phases currently. Okay. One thing that's an issue though is Redot seems to crash every so often, and I have no clue on how to reproduce it. I think it might be related to the plug-in. Would it help you to diagnose the problem if I paste all the script files in? See what it says. Making steady progress. The intermittent crashes are concerned, especially since you suspect they may be related to your editor plugin. Still in early phases. Not yet. Not yet at the point and click phase. We can focus on diagnosing the crashes. You mentioned the sharing all your script files might help with the diagnosis, and I think that's a great idea. Give me a clearer picture of your setup and potential issues. Sometimes can be unstable, especially the editor plugins due to its beta stage GDE extension API noted in web ID 15. Crashes and editor plugins often stem from issues like signal misconnections. We've seen issues with signal connections in your plugin before. Okay, yeah. Similar problems can cause crashes not handled properly. State management. If your past experiences with needing to reload the scene or toggle the plugin suggest that Redot's editor state might not always persist correctly, potentially leading to crashes. There are life cycles. Plugins can crash if they access editor resources like get tree at the wrong time. So we fixed in custom save. Patching your script files will definitely help. It'll let me look for potential issues like improper signal handling, editor state mismatches, or unsafe code, node operations that might be causing the crashes. Since you're unable to reproduce the crash consistently, seeing the full scripts will help me identify patterns and known issues that could lead to instability. Most recent. Okay. I'll also grab the room and door scripts. Room manager could probably be rolled out though. Give me a few moments. I agree that room manager.gd may not be directly related to your plugin and editor logic are the main components interacting with the scene tree. Likely the culprits for intermittent crashes you're experiencing. Take your time to gather the scripts. I'll analyze them once you share them. I can start thinking of common crashes in Redot editor plugins based on what we already discussed. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm going to manually copy them in and oh yeah, I have to restart it, don't I? Of course. Okay. I only have to 3:30 today, and I'm gonna try to be on time today. So if I don't get much done after that, then I guess tomorrow we'll be working on the visualization part. Of course, this could have something to do with it. Me have to resize every time. Possibly. I don't know. It shouldn't, but that doesn't mean it couldn't. Anywho, let's go to the scripts. We'll start with custom save. Select all. Copy. Custom save.dd one LV. Shift enter. Select all. There's not really much going on here. Copy. Your.gd one B. Room.gd colon. Let's go to room first. Select all. Copy V. See, how come it, that's weird, but I mean, that's fine. Uh, boy, this is a long one. The room is actually a long one. Okay. What's next? What's next? Shift enter. Okay, select all. Copy. Editor map.gd. Okay. We have made another change. Converted rooms from a node to a main node. Crashes already happened before this change, though, so it probably doesn't affect anything. And let's just go ahead and share it. Pretty long. Hopefully it doesn't hit its ceiling, because sometimes when it does, it makes the conversation go all wacky. In Grok's case, though, it mostly just makes it quit. So sometimes it'll just stop, like what it looks like it's doing right now. It'll still be thinking, but well, we're waiting. I'm waiting. I understand your experience to internet you suspect related to your provided. Well, I also kind of want to do all the proposed fixes. Actually, I should have told it, don't do any proposed fixes. Instead, come up with the proposed fixes. Tell me what you think I should do about it, and then give me the snippets I need to change, not necessarily the whole file. getting a little sluggy now. So we'll see if it can handle it. Honestly, it probably would have been better if I had just started an editor and then just worked manually as well as I could until I got the editor actually working. Because this is kind of a pain, and it's just like, I don't know. An editor would probably be more useful. In fact, I could have probably just released it and people could just make their own games. Even I might would have even eventually stripped out the 3D code just so you could play around with it. I'm having that 3D code in there because eventually it's going to be 3D related. Um, text text will still be a 2D item though, um, so yeah, I'm not sure about that, but see, it's still going pretty sluggishly. It's still going though, at least I gotta give it that much. And then I'm gonna have to go through all of it. I'm gonna have to read through all of it, so it's gonna take. I don't even know if I'll get any of it fixed or implemented or whatever today. I'm kind of sleepy now. All right. Additional recommendations. Okay. And I gotta go all the way back up. And I'll first see what it says, and then I'll decide if I want to do anything today. Shoot, it might be 30 minutes just going through this crap. Apologies to anybody that's listening or watching. That's just me going through this boring crap. Thanks for sharing the scripts for your Redot 4.3 project in Channellands Phase 1. I understand you're experiencing internet crashes you suspect are related to your editor plugin. You provide custom save.gd, editormap.gd, room.gd, and door.gd to help diagnose the issue. You've also noted that you recently changed room from Node 2D to but the crashes occurred before this change, so it's likely unrelated. Let's analyze the scripts. And I okay, it does. I said rooms node. Okay. Crashes. Redot crashed intermittently. You can't reliably reproduce the issue. This suggests a subtle bug in the plugin, possibly related to editor lifecycle, signal handling, or resource management. Your plugin adds buttons to the editor UI for saving, adding, and removing rooms. It connects to the editor map. Functions to manage rooms under the rooms node. I suppose there's somewhere that along the line there's some kind of weird recursion thing going on or something causing it to maybe the reconnect thing under process, maybe it's just doing too much and it's spazzing out. Changing the room from node 2D to node shouldn't affect the crashes as they knew they happened before this change. However, we'll keep an eye on how this impacts. Okay. Uh, Darn it. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and read through this. Examine each script for potential issues. Custom save.gd. The script sets up. Maybe I should correct it first. It's going to cause it to choke because I wrote a bunch of crap. I might have incorrectly updated. I mean the rooms node in the editor was changed from a node 2D to a node. Actual room class is still a node 2D. We'll see what it says. Let's see what it says. I might screw things up. It's like I don't have a problem telling it to like go through and redo everything again, but it might have a problem going through everything and redoing everything again. So we'll see. Mm, I mean, I'm so close yet not so close. In other words, I got all the features working fine, and the last thing would have been to be able to draw links between the rooms based on the nodes. So my idea for the room node the doors, I mean, door nodes. My idea was to take the doors and represent them with like a little, let's just say a little pan or a little rectangle or a little circle or something, a little graphic, um, some sort of basic graphic that I could attach to the room that would draw all 9 choices, max choices that you have, and maybe in gray, and then uh, change into a color when they're connected, and then draw a line from that door node, from the active door node the um, to the room that it connects to. So it would connect. They would all connect to the same place, the center of the top. Um, and there isn't going to be any that have the same parents, but that it's just the way that would work. But it would draw the line there from the doors to the child node, and that way I could see the visualization of the doors. I probably have to update it in real time in the process function so that whenever I moved the room, it always updated the line. So now I have to wait for all this junk to go because I had to reanalyze everything, I guess. And so now I have to go back up and hopefully it won't croak. But if it does croak, I'll have to wait, I think, until tomorrow to actually continue working on this bug here. So, yeah. So the only reason I'm not talking right now is because I don't have much to do while Grok uh, reanalyzes everything. And it's really having a hard time now. Why? Because I'm getting to the end of the point of the maximum tokens, I guess. 4 million tokens. Somewhere something said like 150,000 words or something, approximately. I mean, if you could count the words, that would be the equivalent. So once it starts hitting, once it gets closer to that limit and runs out of memory, then it starts getting sluggish and potential for a screw up. I haven't seen Grok actually screw up Axel. In other words, screw up a like give you like garbage data back. I've only seen that on Brave Leo search browser. I almost think it's that for them it's because they use your own like video memory or something to generate stuff. But Grok doesn't do that. Instead, Grok will stop at some point without. Okay. So let's go back up here, and we'll go through this. And I know uh, I've got GitHub desktop and stuff, but I'll probably do the same thing here. I'll probably make a copy of these files and save them on the hard drive somewhere before I actually update the scripts. Thanks for the clarification. I understand now that you Redot 4.3 project for Enchant, you mean the rooms node in the editor map, the parent node for all room instances was changed from node 2D to a node, while the room class itself defined and room remains node 2D. This correction aligns with the scripts you shared earlier today, where room extends node 2D, but the rooms node references rooms in editor map.gd doesn't need to be a node 2D since it's just a container. Since the crashes you're experiencing happened before this change, it's unlikely to be the cause, but we'll consider its impact. Before the change, as of node 2D, rooms had 2D positioning properties, but you likely weren't using them. You mentioned manual positioning. After the node change, no longer is 2D properties is fine since it's just a container. This change shouldn't affect the room nodes themselves, which are still node 2D, handling their own positioning. That's fine. Relevance to crashes. Since the crashes occurred before the change, it's not the root cause. However, we'll ensure the scripts don't rely on rooms having no 2D properties, which could... Okay. Let's revisit potential crash causes from our earlier analysis, incorporating the clarification and focusing on the most likely culprits based on the scripts. It'll refine the fixes to account for the rooms node being a node, and I'll add more logging to help pinpoint the crashes. Refine crash analysis, signal connection and process, custom save.gd. The repeated signal reconnection and process, e.g. for select and change, could still be a crash source, as Redot editor might not handle frequent reconnections well, especially during seam reloads or plugin toggles, which you've noted as problematic. We'll remove the process reconnection logic as the intertree connections are sufficient and add a seam change handler to reconnect only when necessary. Okay, node freeing in on remove room button pressed. Let me do something here before I go on. Let me go to, where would that be at? Odds and ends, right? Okay. So 1.gd. Let's create a new folder. Old scripts. And we'll even put we'll put all these, even though that's a scene file, we'll put that in old scripts. That way I can just copy stuff over here when I change it. Okay. Node freeing in on remove room button pressed. You free currently selected room after removing it. The order was fixed earlier to set currently selected room to null before queue free. But if on selection change fires during this process, e.g. do the editor updating the selection, it might still try to access free node causing a crash. Fix. Add a safeguard to on selection change to avoid accessing invalid nodes and ensure the editor selection is cleared before freeing. File operations and on save button pressed. Editor map.gd. The file detection logic in delete removed files called deferred from on save button press might still cause issues with Redot's editors in an unstable state during file I/O. Redot 4.3 might inherit Godot's file I/O sluggishness, and frequent file operations during editor task saving could lead to crashes. That might be what's leading to crashes, because whenever I started messing around with adding and removing and saving and stuff, Fix. Wrap the file operations in a try-catch equivalent using error checks and defer them further to ensure the editor is stable. See, I might have avoided all this if I had just started working on a proper room editor, which I might have to do in the future anyways. Visual setup in room.gd creates a panel and child nodes, but now that set visuals creates a panel and child nodes, but now the room is a node 2D and rooms is a node. The positioning logic is still valid since panel is a control mode with its own positioning. However, the repeated call deferred in set ID could still stack up and crash the editor if called excessively. Limit deferred calls, ensure setup visuals is called only once per room. Okay. That sounds okay, I think. Updated scripts with fixes. Here are the updated scripts with the refined fixes. Additional logging and adjustments for the rooms node being a node. I focus on most likely crash causes while ensuring compatibility with your setup. Updated. Editor plugin. This is not custom save, this is editor map. Oh. Wait, this is also the editor map. Okay, it's starting to screw up again. I was afraid of that. Yeah. Okay. Must have hit your token limit because all of these updated scripts are actually just the editor map. Except door. So instead of you trying to fix it, let's just call this conversation done and I'll start over. Tomorrow with a new conversation. It seems to be not crashing, but it does. See, it's messing up. So I'm actually kind of wrong. It does mess up, but it in its way that it messes up is it just starts feeding off of old stuff and regurgitating stuff. It looks like I hit a token limit, which caused a response to repeat editor maps and properly updating the script. You're right. Starting fresh tomorrow with new conversation, good idea. Especially since my context window could get constrained on platforms like X. And continuing here might lead to more errors. Let's wrap this up for now. We can pick up tomorrow. Clean slate, tackle Redot crashes. With the exception of my my script files, can you summarize our conversation with enough details to hand over to the next conversation that's not longer than a paragraph or so. I don't want to hit the limit again, but I would like a starting point so I don't have to start over from scratch. Let's see if we can do it. It might not be able to, but then again, that was a code thing, so the code thing might hand off to a different part. We up the editor plugin to manage rooms, adding save room data, add room, remove room buttons, limit the room creation, unique labels, deferred file deletions, fix selection issues in editor, get selection, intermittent crashes were investigated, likely tied to signal handling, node freeing, safer signal. Rooms are clarified as a node, not node T, while room remains. Okay, thanks. Talk to you later. Or rather, a new conversation with you later. Okay, so that wasn't really. I know part of it was because I told it to use like a single paragraph and stuff, and so there's probably more information than that. But I need to actually give the backstory. Okay. You know what I could do? What I could do is I could start the conversation now. I've got about 10 minutes, right? I could probably put all the relevant information within the 10 minutes, including pasting uh, the script files. In fact, maybe I should do the script copy, copy the script files, and then rename it to text, and then upload them as attachments. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Okay. So maybe that's what I'll do. All right, so let's do something here then. Let's go to odds and ends. Those are map scenes. Okay, let's go back up here and let's go to scripts here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and copy all four of these, but I am going to go ahead and let's go to odds and ends, new folder, old scripts, wed paper 23 25. That gives me a here and paste. Okay, right? Because all I did was copy, right? I copied. Okay. Now let's do these. Rename. Let's do extension only. Find GD. Rename it TXT. Rename. Close. Okay. Now, let's go ahead with the new conversation. I will be needing some help tomorrow. You can silently note the date and time. Eastern time. But I wanted to start the conversation here right now first. I don't want you to make any recommendations until I ask for them, which will be tomorrow. Today's date is Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, and tomorrow is going to be Thursday, the 24th. Please acknowledge. We'll start with that. It's today's date. You plan to seek help tomorrow. I will note the date and time, so I'll wait for your best recommendations tomorrow. Okay. Okay. To give you an idea of what's going on, I'm making a game in the Redot engine, which is a fork of Redot 4.3. It will be a fully interactive graphical point-and-click adventure game like the kind you would play in the early 90s, but will be done in phases, 17 of them to be exact, where phase 1 is just a choose your own adventure style. I'm working on phase 1 right now and don't expect to move on to phase 2 for quite some time. Please acknowledge. Acknowledge. You're doing it fully interactive. Okay. Okay. Now, system already works. I have rooms with doors, essentially exits. A room class derived from a node 2D. Essentially exits. A room manager loads and changes rooms when you hit a specified key. The framework runs fine. The the structure, the rooms, the rooms are saved out as JSON objects and then loaded in and turned into room nodes programmatically. Now, please acknowledge. means you can essentially make and play CYOA free. I also have a special scene called an editor map, which consists of a rooms node, which is just a regular node with all the actual rooms grouped under it. It loads up the rooms, allows me to place rooms to help me lay out my game. Let's see. Allows me to place rooms to help me lay out my game. In the Redot editor. Let's say I can edit rooms in the inspector and I can save rooms. I can save, add, and remove rooms via plugin within the editor. I can build doors in the inspector with a special door specs array that holds irrelevant data. Saving rooms saves the JSON out and also saves a meta file, also JSON, that holds X and Y position in the editor. Pardon me? Nose itching, I don't know why. Okay, so, now, everything seems to be working fine. Okay, please acknowledge. Please acknowledge. Yeah, I know, 3:30. I was going to try to be right on time, but it looks like I'm going to be a little bit late, like usual. Special thing called editor map with rooms. Okay. So, everything seems to work fine, except I'm getting random crashes, possibly due to the plugin. And just to add, it's using PD script, which is a given because it's a fork of Godot. Oh. Please acknowledge, but don't do anything. Like I said, we'll do this tomorrow. probably spelled acknowledge wrong, I guess. Yeah, acknowledged. Expand around. Okay. All right. I'm going to upload the script files. I'll accept here are the relevant script files and a screenshot to give you an idea. Please note I'm not uploading room manager GD because it's not really related to the editor or the problem. Okay. Okay, so let's attach first. Upload a file. Dev stuff, odds and ends, this old scripts thing, and let's do control open. And let's go ahead and do a screenshot. And we'll go to 2D. And we'll just do, okay, so the screenshot will be, I guess, a window. Take screenshot. Copy to clipboard. Cancel. Go back to Grok. And then go V. This is all so you have the relevant material. Relevant material for tomorrow. Please acknowledge I'm not uploading Room Manager. Now, I know these are script files, but we're not nowhere near the end yet, so it should be okay. Hopefully. Hopefully you'll go, okay, I see what you mean. Acknowledge. Write about script files and screenshot Redot project showing the editor map T scene. The screenshot displays the scene tree with the rooms under the rooms node. Editor layout, room description, file system. You noted that Room Manager DE is not included as it's unrelated to the editor and crashing issue potentially caused by the plugin. House material ready for your request tomorrow. Thank you and talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's select a new and planned assistance for April 24th. Okay, I guess that'll be okay. In fact, let's do something here. We're gonna say Enchanted Lands editor. Oh. Starting April 24th, 25. Do it like that. Okay. So, I guess I'm done. I guess I'm done for today. And I want to thank anybody for dropping by, for listening, for watching, for skipping around, whatever. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow, I guess we're going to try to see if I can fix the crashing bug. I'll probably try to reproduce a crashing bug a couple of times. I'm pretty sure that if I just mess around with the save, remove, delete and all that stuff, that that it will cause it to crash randomly. So we'll see about that. I'll paste it a little bit, and we'll see. So thank you, and oh, I see. I didn't realize what I was looking at there. So yeah. Anyways, I want to thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.